Greetings, Captain, and welcome to Stowbetter's Elite TFO training on the Gateway to Gre'thor TFO. What are the objectives?
Iconian forces are blockading the Klingon shipyard and starbase in orbit over Kronos. 2 squadrons must be defeated at each location to allow Allied ground forces to reach the surface. On Elite, you have 3 minutes to clear these sites. Next, escort transports from the shipyard and starbase to the surface over the next 6 minutes. On Advanced, at least 10 transports must reach the surface, while on Elite, the minimum number is 25. Lastly, a Herald fleet led by a dreadnought will arrive to reinforce the enemy position. Your final objective is to defeat this force. On Elite, you have 3 minutes to do so and complete the TFO. Good luck, Captain.
Thank you. On to risks and rewards. This TFO needs moderate coordination to play well on Elite with all optionals and without dying. The main area of coordination is properly allocating ships to each part of the lane in the second stage while escorting the troop transports. Against Iconians, the enemy threat level is moderately high, as opposing ships are numerous and can be quite dangerous. Energy gateways increase enemy shields, solar gateways deal significant damage, and the spawning gateways will summon cruisers and battleships on Elite. Also, be aware of electromagnetic pulse probes, which have a significant disable effect. This TFO awards a moderate amount of Iconian or fleet marks, along with a chance for subspace comm power pieces. Lastly, this operation is of moderate length, as it is guaranteed to last over 6 minutes due to the time-gated second stage, but the first and last stages can be quick with the appropriate team. The adversaries on this operation are Iconian Heralds, which have a combination of smaller and larger ships. The smaller Bolton Raiders are not much of a threat, but Quas cruisers and especially Vaunt battleships are far more dangerous. Battleships can summon solar gateways, which inflict severe damage over time if left unchecked, and can spawn them behind player ships. Both cruisers and battleships can summon energy gateways, which increase their durability, and have abilities like EMP Pulse Probe and Ionic Turbulence, which can disable or interfere with normal ship operation, leaving you vulnerable to more conventional attacks. Iconian forces in the second stage principally arrive through a series of spawning gateways, while also summoning radiation gateways that damage and slow the transports. The radiation gateways are the chief danger to the transports, whereas the Iconian ships that arrive from spawning gateways are more dangerous to players. In the first stage, only attack enemies at the starbase and shipyard. There are 2 other groups of Iconian ships that aren't part of either objective and should thus be ignored. If you complete your stage before the other team is done, go assist them, bypassing the group in the middle. In the second stage, divide the team between the 2 lanes, with at least 2 players on each lane. While it is possible to solo a lane, it is significantly more difficult on Elite, and will make failing the TFO more likely. The priority in the second stage is closing radiation gateways first. After that, focus on closing spawning gateways, and third, fight the Heralds unless the transports are under attack. It is possible to camp a couple of spots on each lane that cover all the spawn zones, such that you don't have to move during this stage, but we're not going to illustrate that tactic because it's unreliable and uncoordinated play. Lastly, it's important to note that you need to come to a complete stop when closing gateways. Moving too much past a series of invisible boundaries will reset progress on the gateway, even if you remain in close proximity overall. Crossing the midpoint, for example, will reset progress and likely result in damage or destruction of Allied transports. Exotic builds are quite effective on this map, as enemies tend to be clustered into relatively small areas. You will need sufficient AoE to ensure that you damage both of the larger ships as well as the gateways they summon. You also need to be mindful of your survivability, as there is significant incoming damage depending on the stage of the map. At the start, pick either the shipyard or starbase and fly there to destroy the Iconian ships. In this run, I was at the shipyard. With gravity well and sufficient firepower, you can clear both groups in the same area with stacking AoEs. Don't hold back on your abilities and focus on the battleship when it arrives. If the other side needs help, move there afterward, ignoring the group in the middle. In this case, no help was needed.
The shipyard is secure. The starbase is secure. The troop transport.
In the second stage, focus on protecting transports by closing radiation gateways. it's a good idea to either focus on planet side or base side on any one of the lanes, rather than traversing the length of the lane repeatedly, but that is an option if you can't rely on your teammates. If there are no radiation gateways, it's a good idea to close spawning gateways to reduce the number of Iconian ships. Remember to not move while closing gateways. The transports must reach the planet and complete their warp out animation before they are counted as complete, and you do need a significant number of them for the mission to not fail. From there, you'll basically continue the cycle for the entirety of the transport stage. Keep your situational awareness up and watch for radiation gateways. Fighting the Iconians is secondary as it does reduce fire both on you and the transports, but radiation gateways have priority, and then spawning gateways after that. When battleships arrive, you'll want to focus your firepower on them as they pose the highest threat. Keep going until the phase ends, and remember that 25 transports must reach the surface on Elite. Once this phase ends, fly over to the starbase if you weren't there already. The last stage is straightforward. Target the Dreadnought and fire everything. It will attempt to teleport towards the shipyard if not destroyed quickly enough, but if it does, chase it down and finish it off within 3 minutes. Once the Dreadnought and its attendant ships are destroyed, the TFO completes. Captain, if this breakdown helped you in your quest to play Stowe better, please consider liking this video and subscribing to our channel. The link to the specific build used for this tutorial is in the description. For more guides and builds, check us out at www.stobetter.com.